This is our first tutorial on what we're going to call Maze 2. So I want you to bring up Maze 1, which is your name. As you can see that I have Maze 1 Steve.gmk on the versions I'm using. First, let's just play the game. So if you've gotten this far, this is quite an accomplishment in terms of we have Mr. Teddy, or the person that goes through the maze, and we don't want them to get stuck against the wall. That's why the images are made full images, and we're testing out different things. And with this one, we want to go to the next level, and so we go to the next room, which is fine. And with the instructions that we've given with this one is that if the next room does not exist, then we're going to restart the game. So if you've gotten this far, you've done really well. And again, what we're doing is we're putting instructions inside of objects. So you can see that the game has restarted, and I'm going back to that. Next I want you to do is go to File, Save As, and I want you to rename it Maze 2 and your name. So what we're doing is we're going to make use of a lot of the resources from Maze 1, and we're going to make use of that. So your game now should be Maze 2 and your first name. Okay, so we're going to do just a little bit of tidying up now. We're going to change the walls, so we want to delete that. So let's delete, and let's go up to sprite wall, and let's delete that wall. And we're going to replace them with a little bit more spectacular things. We're going to do different things with the room as well, so let's delete that. And let's delete room 0 as well. And then you should press Control S to save your files that's going through that. Okay, now what we're going to do now is we're going to add a whole bunch of more sprites, and then we're going to add a whole bunch of new objects as well. So we're going to go to Sprite, we're going to go to Create Sprite, you're going to load the sprite, and the first one we're looking for is Wall Corner. So it says Wall Corner on the version that I have. In this case, let's not remove the background, and let's open, and let's turn the precise collision checking off. Let's modify the mask, and let's make sure it's a full image, that is the full 32 by 32. So if your images were sticking on a wall, more than likely it was because the images weren't full. And as usual, we want to rename it, so it's Sprite SPR Wall Corner. Now this is going to be a special type of object for us, but I'll explain that later. Okay, next we're going to create another sprite, and we're going to load the sprite, and we're looking for Wall Horizontal. Don't remove the background, open it, turn precise collision off. We only use that when we're firing bullets or missiles. Bounding box should be full image, and rectangle radio button, press OK, and press OK. Now you're beginning to see perhaps that we're starting to use different types of walls. We're getting a little bit more creative. So create a sprite, we're going to load a sprite. The next one is we want wall vertical. Remove the background, no, we don't want to do that. Open, turn precise collision off, modify the mask, make sure it's full image, and press OK, and rectangle for that. So now we have three types of walls. The wall corner, and I forgot to rename them, so I need to call that sprite wall horizontal, and I'm going to rename this as sprite wall vertical. So I probably should have named that a little bit earlier, which would have made things easier. Alright, we got a sprite person, we're going to keep that, we're going to make use of that. We've got a sprite goal, we're going to keep that, we're going to make use of that. Now we're going to create a sprite, load sprite, and we're looking for a red door. So Don't remove the background. And we can open this. Turn precise collisions, checking off, which is again used for missiles or bullets. Modify. Full image. Rectangle. Press OK. And we need to call this a sprite door. And we press OK. Okay, we almost got one. We need one more sprite, so we're going to go to create sprite. And in this version, we want to collect some diamonds. So we're going to load sprite. We're looking for a diamond GIF. In this, see the little green background? We don't want that. So in this case, we do want to remove the background. If this window is too small, you don't see these words here, you need to enlarge the window and press open. Turn precise, checking off. Modify the mask. Make sure it's full image. Press OK. And we need to rename it Sprite Diamonds. Diamond. Press OK. Alright. Now, as in the past, we need to create objects based on our sprites. Remember, our sprites are just cartoons, they're just little drawings. We can't do anything with them. We create sprites based on their drawings, and inside our objects we can insert our instructions. So you're sort of create a whole bunch of little Dr. Frankensteins. You're putting brains inside the objects. So let's go to objects. We're going to create an object, and we're going to first pick on the wall corner, and this is going to be an object wall corner. Make sure it's solid because it's going to be an object, and we're going to press OK for now, for that one. Next one, we're going to objects, create object. We're going to go to wall horizontal, and we're going to call this object wall horizontal, and we're going to take it solid. Now down here we have what's called a parent. We're going to make the wall corner the parent. That is, any characteristics the wall corner has will automatically be inherited by the wall horizontal. That will save us quite a bit of coding later on, or programming lines of that. So please make sure with parent the object wall corner is ticked, and that means that any characteristics that the wall corner has is passed on through its DNA to the wall corner. And we're going to press OK. Go back to objects, create object. We're going to base it on the vertical wall, tick solid, and again the parent is going to be the wall corner, and we want to rename it. So object wall vertical, tick solid, wall corner, press OK. We have an object door we need to create, so let's go to objects, create. We're going to be on the sprite door, make sure it's solid, and actually we're going to make the parent same thing. So the sprite door is, the parent's going to be the wall corner. We're going to call it object door, make sure it's solid. Parent is the object wall corner. Again, any characteristics the wall corner is passed down to its child, which in this case object door, much like DNA or your red hair, and press OK. Next we're going to create a object diamond. So I'll go to objects, create object, and this is going to be based on the sprite diamond, and you should be getting used to this now. Make sure it's tick solid. There's no parent for a diamond, so we'll just leave it like that. Next thing we need to do is we need to rename it and press OK. Now I'm going to add two other objects which aren't based on sprites, and these help control the scoring. So I'm going to go to objects, I'm going to create object, and I'm going to call it controller start. So Controller. Now, and we can just press OK for that. We're not going to put any information in there yet, but basically, controller start goes on your very first level that you're going to create, and we're going to have some special instructions for that. We want to create another object, and this one's going to be entitled controller main. Now, the controllers don't have images, but they have special instructions that will help us with the scoring and where we locate the scoring on the screen, and we're going to press OK. So with this tutorial now, we have created several sprites, which are just drawings, and then from the sprites, we have created several objects which has no instructions inside of them yet, and we have two special types of objects with no images, and they will control our scoring and the location of the scoring on our screens. This ends tutorial number 1 for Maze 2.